into my Positive Perspective Internet show today, where we feature individuals and groups who share the common goal of improving the local Charleston community. Today's episode is brought to you by Advent Designs. For website creation, Advent Designs is definitely a good choice for your company. Joining me on today's episode is Mr. Gordon Cashwell. So, Gordon, how you doing?
Good. I like that, doctor. Are you going to get an honorary doctorate from my Positive Perspective?
That'd be great. I kind of meant to say Reverend, or but what we're doing in this episode is we're discussing the power of mentoring. I started off with communities and schools in 2008, and I went in and I mentored groups of students after school, and I did that for a year or two. Then after that, I moved on to speaking at symposiums and schools, and that was actually classrooms of students. And I did that for 2 years, and then this year I'm working one-on-one with a 7th grader at a local middle school here. All three of those opportunities have their advantages and disadvantages. But one-on-one, I do have have a lot more reach possibility with the students. So maybe we could talk about just how important mentoring is, and how good how we need more mentors out there willing to help.
Yeah. Well, I find that as a pastor, same kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said once, you can impress people from a distance, but you can impact them up close. And when I deal with people one-on-one, I find to be the most effective, most powerful way to influence someone's life. And there'll be people that'll come and hear message after message after message, but when you start to get with them, invest that relational time and some accountability, when they know they have to come back and answer to you,
mm-hmm.
and you're going to answer to them,
mm-hmm.
that is powerful. And our kids today, that's what they really need.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the school system isn't cutting it. And one of my, off the subject a little bit, one of my hobby horses, I guess, or one of my platforms, or whatever you want to call it, my soapbox,
mm-hmm.
is prayer in school.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons is, even if you don't believe in God or believe in Jesus, there's statistics that show that when prayer was taken out of school, teen violence went up, teen pregnancy went up, family breakups went up,
mm-hmm.
SAT scores went down, and the trending all was going up a little bit, and then everything started plummeting. And so there's something positive about prayer in school. I think that would be a help. But what we're talking about today, obviously, is mentoring. And what if every person listening to this today was able to go into school? Schools make it easy for you today.
Yeah.
They have lunch buddy programs, they have backpack buddy programs. Go to the school, your local public school, and say, look, I really would like to make a difference. And one of the mentors that's mentoring through First Baptist downtown said that one of the kids was asked if you could meet any person you would ever want to meet in history in the world, mm-hmm. and that kid turned and said, I would want to meet you. Talking about his mentor.
Yeah.
And boy, you talk about making an impact. That kid could have met George Washington or George Washington Carver.
Yeah.
If they wanted to meet the mentor, because that person showed love. And we just talk about it.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting story. The student that I mentor, his mother was actually in a car accident, is unable to help him with his schoolwork, and of course he's not the only child in that family, and it was from day one it was very obvious to me that what he lacked was motivation, and he lacked that motivation because there wasn't anyone who we sort of held him accountable for his schoolwork.
Yeah.
And consequently, he kind of figured, hey, if nobody else cares if I do my schoolwork, why should I care? And I think, you know, being that reason that student cares about his schoolwork is one of the biggest benefits or, you know, outcomes you can reach as a mentor.
And I think, and that's a really great story too, and that's what America needs. That's our next generation. If you look at the kids and what they're listening to, watching, what's important to them, we're in trouble. And the only way to change that is not by having big meetings and speaking, you know, that's a good thing. But the great thing would be one-on-one. And I think that you know, it's easy to do. It's really easy. It's just called love. It's called spending time with kids and helping them know how to set goals for their life and showing that you're proud of them, rewarding them, encouraging them. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing, you know, mentor. And,
Yeah.
you know, when you think about, if you think about who in your life impacted your life the most, it's probably not going to be some historic figure. It's probably not going to be an artist or one of the, you know, like Elvis or somebody that we lift way up. I think it's going to be the name of a teacher or a mentor that you had.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be someone one-on-one. Think about it. Who helped you write your story in your life?
Yeah.
Probably there's somebody there that you're going to say, you know what, if it wasn't for this person, one person who spent time with me. And you know, the other thing I think that's great about mentoring is I get more about, I guarantee I get more out of it than any of the kids that I mentor. And I do that through Boy Scouts and other things. And individual adults too.
Yeah.
There's adults that need mentoring. They never really had anyone to teach them certain basic things. It's not just teaching, it's a relationship.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I mean, and whenever you're able to build that relationship of it, I can see from the student that I've been mentoring, you know, and then the months that we work together, his self-esteem has gone way up. The way he talks and interacts, he has more confidence in his voice. He has more confidence in his behavior. I remember, you know, the first day, whenever he talked, he'd look at the ground. And that was one thing that I was quick to get with him. I was like, you know, when you're doing that, when you're showing you're making the impression on people that you don't really have a lot of respect for them, that you're not taking them seriously. You need to look right at the person that you're talking to. Look at their face, look at them in the eye, and, you know, say what you need to. And I think just, you know, small little life lessons are, you know, educational, but they're also behavioral in their, you know, in their origin, I guess. And it goes a long way to building self-esteem, and that's another thing that our youth lacks now is self-esteem.
Yeah, and what you're doing in relationally is building them up and letting them know they have value. And we could say, well, God loves you, God, you know, values you. You need to know that. But some people need somebody with a little skin on. Somebody said to show them that. And you know, there was a guy, true story, named Walt, who he had an 8th grade education, dropped out of school, had a mental learning disability, and he kept going to his pastor saying, I want to teach, I want a Sunday school teacher. God's called me to be a Sunday school teacher, and his pastor kept saying, well, come back, I'll let you know when you're ready. And I think the pastor didn't really think he'd ever be ready. But finally, he kept coming back, pestering. He said, all right, I'll tell you what, you can be a Sunday school teacher, but you got to go get all your Sunday school class from people outside the church. So he went out in the streets of South Philly, and he found some kids playing marbles, and he got down with them and he said, look, he said, you want to come to my Sunday school class? And they're all like, nah, we don't want to go to no school. We got enough school.
Yeah.
So he said, well, how about I play marbles with you? So every day he'd go back down there and play marbles with these kids, and eventually 12 of them join this class, and 11 of them are in full-time ministry today. Fatherless kids. And we have these events, you know, you think about, you mentioned Advent Designs. Michael Waters is a good guy. He's helped us a lot.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there.
Give him a plug.
He's helped us with our website. Advent Designs.
Yes.
Michael Waters. But, you know, we could advertise things like that, everything, and we have these big events, and people they come down, hey, I've been a father to the fatherless. I gave a bicycle to a kid for Christmas. Well, if the only thing you do for your kid is give him a bicycle for Christmas once a year, you're not a very good father. And what our society needs is fathers. That means that if you are somebody that wants to influence a child, don't just give them a Christmas gift. Nothing wrong with that. That's better than nothing. But get involved in their life. And be there for them, not only at the mentoring time once a week, but throughout the week. If they want to call you, if they're having a basketball game or something, you're there. If they're playing the trumpet and the thing, go there and let them know, hey, my kid, this is my kid. He's not my child, and I'm not going to claim that because I don't have that much responsibility. I'm not paying the bills. But this is my younger brother, my little brother.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go and I'm going to let him know. I'm not going to just tell him Jesus cares. I'm going to show him that one-on-one.
Yeah.
And I got to do more of that. So
yeah, it certainly makes a big difference. So thank you, Gordon, for joining me on the episode. Thank y'all for tuning into my positive perspective, and have a great day.
On a sunny day, I feel my thoughts drift away. Only good vibes and good times living in my brain. On a sunny day, catch me lamping in the shade, feeling so fine and so high. Oh, my sunny days, still I hope all my efforts will one day pan out. The love within you'll never be without. So I roll, feeling strong and so invincible.